200 laps around a traditional circuit, 2008 scan of the Phoenix Raceway. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to, well, as I said, 200 laps around the Phoenix Raceway. Average lap time of 23 seconds. A little bit of a correction. With a already qualified grid, so we're going straight into the race. And because it's Phoenix Raceway and it's in America, it's oval pandemonium, which I don't like. And I'm also, having to, deal with the fact that it's ovals, which I don't like. But Craig, I think you're a little bit more versed on this one, and you're going to like it a lot more, I think.
Yeah, good afternoon, Rob. Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Jimmy Bryan 200. Now, it's a race that hasn't been done in years, but Jimmy Bryan was the 1958 Indianapolis 500 champion, which technically means he is a race winner in the Formula One championship, because back in the 50s, it was part of the F1 schedule. Unfortunately, he did die in 1960, the same day of the fatal accidents of the Belgian Grand Prix in 1960, making it one of the worst days in motor racing history, when at least three drivers died, two in Belgium, of course, and Jimmy Bryan. But these guys are going to be doing it themselves. Now, the Jimmy Bryan 200 was actually a tribute race that IndyCar did in the 80s here at Phoenix Raceway, which is why we've got the legacy version. And it's a fantastic. I prefer this version to the old one, just because of to the new one. Just because of where you are in terms of pit stops, and you can't jump the start. There's no restart zones and everything, and also it's a little bit flatter with it's a little bit flatter. So that is going to be very fun. By the way, today's charity is the Tomorrow Fund, independent, non-profit charitable organisation providing daily financial and emotional support to children with cancer and their families, and they're treated at the Houseborough Children's Hospital in Providence, Rhode Island. And once again, I love the local charities. Well, I'm going to be looking forward to this, because the only time I've ever seen cars do oval around here, it's been NASCARs, it's been stock cars. But this is the first time I see an Indy car. So that turn one, which is a braking point, there's not going to be a lot of braking with these cars. There's going to be a lot of lifting, I would say. But we do know that the grid is here. And Edward Shelley will be taking them to the lead. Edward Shelley, Hagen Schott, then Brian Boomsma, Shane Norton, Gary Batten as they start to populate the field. Marcus Stromberg in 6th. Alex Wegert in 7th. Daniel Bumquist will be 8th. Daniel Holman 9th. Kenneth Reeder 10th. Justin Kruhoff 11th. Ian Erasmus 12th. Gary Thomas unlucky 13. Andy, got my names wrong there. Andy Banfield 14th. Brandon Kluger 15th. Sean Brown will be 16th. Alexander Lisson 17th. Mikael Hagström 18th. Andy Morale 19th. And then you've got Sam Swallow 20th. Tom Guest 21st. Jan Brony 22nd. Thomas Sievernagel 23rd. And Mike Gaunt will be bringing them all to the rear in 24th. It feels like it's a smaller grid, but then again, with the nature of Phoenix, you don't want these big grids. So there are 2 sportsman splits. There's also the pro split, and we get live on GSRC as well. And hopefully these races will be pretty clean, knock on wood, because Rob, we've been told they can go a whole race on 1 tank of fuel.
Well, that's I tried to ask Mr. Brown. He's in a car right now, so I don't think I'll be able to get the answer if they could go on a full tank. But I have confirmed with the international split that a lot of them did actually go all the way to the end on the tank. It is going to be a bit difficult, though. You're going to have to... I'd still say they would have to do a little bit of that ever-lovely fuel saving that people so dearly love. I mean, I like it when it comes to these cars, because it's tactical. Because, I mean, you can, and the race isn't that bad. Now, when I say isn't that bad, it's still 24 drivers, as you can see there on the scoreboard. But it's all about the Kluge. And Brandon McMorris cheering on Brandon Kluge as the race starts, with Edward Shelley taking the green flag as we get around here. Hopefully everybody get around the first corner. Hackenschut and Brian Boomsma going side by side going into turn 1. And then Shane Norton coming around. Oh, just a little bit of a movement there, just trying to see if they can navigate themselves around. Very clean going off the start line. Actually very tame. No turn 1 antics to report. Just a little bit of side-by-side. Oh, a little bit of check-up, though. Right in front of that, that's going to be Garen Batten checking up ahead of them.
Yeah, there was a bit of a free wide near the back of the field going into turn 1, but everybody navigated it very well. I was very happy to see that, and now everyone's just getting into that single file. And remember, this being the legacy, there is no dogleg to speak of, which makes it very good for IndyCar racing here. You can start to see they are now starting to make some work just there. You see there is a bit of a battle going between what looks to be teammates there. That Vegut having a little bit of a battle with Stromberg, and they do get around, but everybody just keeping a little bit side by side. Some too wide near the back of the field as well. Gee, I'm really surprised how very clean this is at the start, as everyone's just making their way. With 300 laps, they've got to be careful. Got to look after these tyres. They can take the fuel the whole race on this one set of tyres. They do have 5 sets though, so that's 4 more in the pits. And Stromberg just losing that position out to his teammate. Now he's got Blomqvist right behind him, and you just start to see it's getting very interesting. The drivers starting to see the pace. Now, these aren't Indy cars per se, but with the oval driving, they're going to be looking like Indy cars today. You can start to see Shane Norton is going to be battling with Vegut there and gets around. The battles will be hard. This turn 1, Rob, it's tough. It's tough because of the banking, because of the speed you're going. You're going to take a lot of speed off, but at the same time, you've got to be careful not to understeer when you're getting overtaken, and that is going to be the big challenge at the start of the race for a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, looking on board with Weigert as he looks backwards. Now, the order is a bit out of sync for the scoreboard, but you'll be able to see it every lap. And it is a quick lap around here. They're already doing 23 seconds, so already gotten 6 laps down. It's not like Daytona, where the lap is actually quite a big one. It's actually quite quick, so the laps will go by. So any sort of decisions they need to make them quick, because if they leave it, if they go to sleep, yeah, that's very quickly going to snowball into a huge problem, because, well, lap times are quick. It may be 200 laps, but if it's 22 seconds per 200 laps, they get 3 laps done essentially in around 1 minute. So the math gets really big here, and then you do all the math around that. It's ooh, you know, you need to get moving very quickly. It's not like Daytona where you have time. Around here, you kind of have to be on the ball, and Weggert's just sort of in his own little bubble right now. You can just see the camera's still pointing back towards Shane Norton. That's Shane Norton on the inside. I think he's starting to wake up. You might have heard me, but look what Weigert has to deal with ahead of him. It's a single line of just little ducklings, just going, you know, doing not much really.
Not that you can do much, but just look how fast they're going into that corner, and then look how fast they're going now on the backstretch, being 260, 270 almost. And then they start to slow down. They were doing about 230 going into the first corner. We are in kilometers. We are Europeans. We are the best. This is Euro split. This is Euro as well, exactly. We're already 10 laps into the race as well.
Quick.
Blomqvist did do the fastest lap, and now belongs to Sam Swallow. So
yeah, sorry, I was about to say. I was about to say that was a bit of a slip up there. You can just see how it's not one. It's not chiefly one line for these boys. Andy Morel, by the way. Sorry, just to cut across. Look at it. It's right him. That's Ian Erasmus there in the 808 car. And fortunately, that's the outside line. And the outside line does not take kindly, especially in turn 1. Turn 1's quite sharp. It's not like... Actually, turn 1 and... What's it? Well, this is turn 3 now. Does this one have like 8 turns? Like, you know the way that Daytona is like 1 to 2 to 3 to 4? Is this 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6? I know it'll be 6 turns.
It technically does have 4 turns, but you've got to understand that it's like a mini tri-oval. Yeah. The first turn's turn 1, and then you've got turn 2, which is on the backstretch per se, and then it's 3 and 4, the final corner. It's a very... I've never understood Phoenix myself in terms of
Why can't they just be consistent?
You see, now you know why there's a dog leg. Now you know why they got rid of all the grass here and made it a dog leg, because that now makes it a proper corner. This is the corner right now. This is turn 2, and now they're coming in 2, 3, and 4.
You're gonna have to point out where they remove the grass then. Because I haven't driven
the backstretch. It's on the backstretch, and it's not just a new one. It's also what they did after this, because there was a old version, which is no longer on iRacing, that had a dogleg. So you'll see Daniel Holmer here coming out of turn 1, and now everything here on the left is grass, and that is where they would cut. And you can see they've made the oval narrower, and where they dip down onto the apex there is dogleg. They changed the profile of the track about 10 years ago, and it turned out for really good racing. And nowadays, the new version, start-finish line, is on what is on the backstretch for this classic version. Pit lane's still the same, which does make very confusing things. But apparently it works.
And Kenneth Reader, by the way, we're just looking at him now. Not too happy with it. The car didn't look like it was... Like, I'm looking at it now. That isn't looking too good for some reason. There's something off with that car. I don't know why, but it looks like it's not sitting straight. Is it just me?
Yeah, I think it's just you. It looks pretty good for me. Also, just in front, it looks to be an overtake. 777 of Andy Morrow getting around Justin Kruhoff. And Justin may get caught out by Sean Brown here. Look at Sean Brown. He's going to have a little bit of a run. He's going to try and get some overlap, but he has lost it here. And there is no braking, so there's no point trying to send it into turn 1. He decides against it. By the way, while we got a quick down point, Baron Boomsma is leading the championship with Gary Batten behind him, 19 points behind him. Then it's Alexander Ellison, 44 behind. And Edward Shelley, who's leading the way. He's 76 points behind Brian Boomsma at this very moment as Brown and Kluhoff continue to go. So look out for those guys because, you know, you've got Shelley currently leading the way. Boomsma in P2. And all the other guys aren't really anywhere to be seen at the moment. Ellison is all the way down the field. Gary Batten is currently P6. So it's very interesting to see how we now come to an oval portion of the race.
Sorry, I was about to say, look ahead of Justin there in the car number 46. He's got a little bit of a melee going on ahead of him. Tom Brown going up against the car 64. That's going to be Marcus Strumberg up ahead of him. Car number 64 having to file back in behind Sean Brown. Now, he is doing the neat thing of just not letting the race get ahead of him, but that is starting to happen. We're starting to see the melee happen, as I would call it, the melee where, you know, people are starting to get. As I say that, Brian Boomsman going wide at 1, coming into 2, getting pinched around. Sort of, it's all very very mobile right now, and just everybody's just trying to get into a position where they can actually attack. Car number 14, that's going to be Alex Rowdy Weggert. And he's going to try and come on the inside, coming into the 1, diving down. Slap 21. And unfortunately, Boomsma shuffled out to the... cutting back. Just a little bit of contact there. That could have been a caution, the first caution of the day. It could have happened right there and then. But...
Sorry, did you see that Shane Norton? I thought they were going to go free wide there for a moment. That white card there, the 95, of Shane Norton. And he's got Brian Boomsma right behind him. And Boomsma just decides to yield. Edward Shelley has checked out, by the way. We've got a caution, though. We do have a caution out there, and I wonder, it's a big one.
No.
The big one. Daniel Helmer's involved in it.
Mr. Brown is not looking good. They do have a fast repair, by the way. But, oh dearie me. Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah,
We're going to get the
Stromberg, Homer, and Brown.
Replay up here. This is on board with Mr. Brown. And I do think it's coming into 1 here. There was a little bit of a slip. And as we come down into the slow motion, just tagged from the behind. I think that the fluidity has gotten to everybody. That's quite a big accident there. I think that was actually him that was turned around. It was him that was turned around. Unfortunately for poor Sean Brown. And then you can just see their everybody sort of trying to figure out what's going on. And that's a lot of damaged cars.
Yeah, Gary Thomas has had to tow. Tom Guest already in the pits. He has to take a bit of an issue there with Gary Brown. Tom Guest and a non-related issue there, but a lot of these cars, they are standing. I say that. Daniel Holmer just came onto the apron and he had 3 wheels. And with one wheel just picking up. He came into the pit lane.
That doesn't sound very good.
But these are the old damage model. Per se, not even, and I think we're talking old damage model.
Oh yeah, we're talking
the GT damage model.
Yeah, we're not. So, yeah, this is definitely a bygone era of damage models in terms of technology. But it's good to see that. Well, we're still progressing. We're still moving forward. The issue I think everybody is going to have to deal with is, well, are they going to pit? Now, we have said that pitting is not ideal because you can actually go to the end on fuel. It'll just be a case of if you want to pit for tires. Now, we didn't actually look at who the big movers are. Here's one. It's from Andy Morell, up 11 places since the start of this race, car number 777. And I do see a number of... I did see the second Brandon Kluge. Where is he? Kluge is in 11th. He's gained 4 positions. Let's see.
What about Mike Gaunt as well, the number 21 in P13?
Crikey, he's gained 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big mover. He started last. So any position gained is a position gained for him. I mean, I don't even know why. I can't English right now.
Well, he knows when to hold them and he knows when to fold them. And on the moment, Mike Gaunt's gone all in, and it's worked out for him to gain 11 places. There you go. He's got cards on the front. I've made a poker reference. There we go.
Yeah, but he's also painted himself in. I'm 90% sure that is not. It is P51 Randall's that he's painted himself with.
The beautiful livery. Now, one thing we must remember here: this is IndyCar, which means IndyCar restarts. Those guys now laps down. Sorry,
they stay there.
Can't get the lucky dog. They will stay there. They will stay in the order they came into as well. So you've got a lap car between P1 and P2. Guess what? Lap cars in between P1 and P2. So for Gary Thomas and Tom Guest, they will stay laps down. They'll have to fight their way around. But also single file restart. Edward Shelley will have his finger on the button. Well, he's got his foot on the pedal, getting ready to let them go. The lights are off on the pace car, by the way. So
yes,
we
coming
will
in
be
this lap.
Going. Yeah, that's definitely coming in this lap.
Yeah. By the way, just to say, the Euro Pro broadcast by GSRC just had a massive accident. Car flipped over onto its lid or onto its roof, as we would say. Yeah, we got better grasp in English language. Yeah, I got you. But as we get ready for the start, I'll explain that in just a second. Edward Shelley, he's backing up the field, and off he goes. Didn't necessarily back up the field, correction, but he kind of just held it up, as he's allowed to do. He sets the pace, as the pace car comes in, and off he went, getting a gap nice and early as best he can. Now, already half a second coming into the first turn, as Hackenschut is under threat from Rowdy coming on the inside and coming into 2. Can he get the move made? Just about. Yes, he does. Fortunately, Hackenschut having to go very wide around the outside, unfortunately, just because of the way that he was positioned. Drove it too deep coming into the 3 and 4, and then sort of got shuffled about and then shuffled out. When he's back in line and back racing, all clean all the way through. Now, we did actually have the few pitters that we mentioned. Everybody that took a pit stop had to take a pit stop due to damage, and they've all taken a fast repair. So if they get damage again, they are out essentially, because it is very difficult to repair these things. I mean, it's open wheel cars. If you lose a wheel, you're done.
Yeah, but also they took tires. Now this is lap 29, and they pitted lap 23, so they've got some fresh rubber. Be interesting to see what the likes of Brown, Holmer, Hagström, Stromberg can do. They're a little bit off the pace at the moment. I think they got caught out by that. When you're at the back of the field, you get caught out by a move, as they did. It is going to be tough. Looks like Gary Batten is trying to defend against Daniel Blomqvist, and he does so. And it's all very bunched up in front of him with Norton and Boomsma. And in fact, he may make disadvantage here. Batten's going to go side by side with his teammate Norton. He'll take that move. Meanwhile, behind as well, that is Blomqvist defending on Andy Morrill. A lot of drivers just having a little bit of moments here, just trying to hold themselves in. You see them going single file right here. Anybody going to go for a move? No. But you can see just there, Brian Boomsma, he just lifts off a little bit, and it opens up the door for the 487 of Brian Boomsma. Can he make a move this time around? No. And you start to see as well, the 777, Andy Morrow is looking like he wants to get a move, or is he just losing time
on the inside
here? 47 goes for a move this time. He will get this. He cannot. Lifts a bit too early. All looking very good, as we do see more battles up ahead.
You can see how close it is as well. Hackett, by the way, losing another position ahead, but we'll just stick here for just the briefest
That is
of
Shane
moments.
Norton making it around, and Gary Batten.
Oh, Schultz, really is losing
They're going to
time.
be side by side. The 101 and the 3, 104 together. That is probably the Fahrenheit here at the moment. It's 101 though. And 101 feels that heat, but he's managed to defend this around the outside. Good defense there from Hakan. And he's been able to hold on to that. He made that defense around the outside, almost 3 wide behind.
Oh, that's somebody up in the wall.
777. Andy Morrill goes into the wall. He just taps the wall. No major damage, but everyone has to do avoiding there.
Oh, that's actually somebody else.
Justin Kluhoff, they're going to be coming down into the first corner. They are 3 wide. And Boomsma and Blomqvist are going to be holding this for the moment. Still holding this, they go. Brian Boomsma is now up ahead, but the 40 and the 46 are battling. Kluhoff and Kruger still battling. Oh, no! And that almost was a tuck there, and a lot of avoiding there. That looked like the 40 of Kruger hit the apron and had to make a checkup. Otherwise, he would have hit his teammate and brought out another caution.
Yep. Having to back up, and he lost the position. He'll get it back, though. He still has plenty of laps to do. Boomsma, again, there's something wrong with that car. He's losing places. He's still trying to defend.
So we're on lap 35.
He was on lap 35, of course,
Boomsma
Oh, crikey, that's somebody on the lid.
Gaps going on. We got a car on this roof, though. There's a car on its roof. We just caught that.
That's Hakan's shot.
That is Hakan's shot. Now, what happened there? Oh, he got squeezed by the 95 coming into the start-finish line. And just a little bit of a squeeze, and he went flying. And unfortunately for him, kind of needs to be flipped over. Don't think he's going to get it. He's now gone a lap down.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would want to damage the car intending to flip
on
it.
This replay, you start to see the 95 there. Shane Norton, he's got this move, and he starts to get washed up. And does not realise the car's there, and he
just bam.
And a car into the
and
wall.
then it backs out as well. Oh, that's the 292, I think.
We had rubber pit lanes here today, but
that
did look like a rubber pit lane. Hakan unfortunately has to tow. The other cars did catch damage there. Such is the nature of oval racing.
I was wondering why you weren't hearing me. I've been pressing the wrong button for you.
I do apologise.
Yeah, I think we've been talking over for like the last 3 minutes.
Oh.
But yeah, I just saw that's actually Alexander J.G. Olsen, car number 292 that was involved, and the cameras are focused on right now. But if we come back live, I think he is in the pits. He has been in... he hasn't. He's still yet to make it to the pits. Second caution of the day. Now, a message from Sam the H. Sam the H says, a few loads make a difference in pace. In the International yesterday, the leader stopped 3 times. The risk is, if it goes green, you will end up losing laps.
Well, we're seeing guys pitting because they got damage.
Oh,
it feels like a super speedway race to me at the moment.
I will say GSRC now joins us in lid flippage. That was a massive accident I just witnessed on the right hand side of my screens here. To keep you guys up to date, in the Euro Pro, 2 cars have actually just flipped on their lids completely, and the caution is now back out for the Euro Pros. Lap 39 out of 200. We are now just under 20%. Yes, I am actually correct. Just under 20% through the race, and yeah, it's actually gone quite quickly. There have been a few moves in and around. The big one I can think of is Mike Gaunt. He started.
That's a big move.
Yeah, he's gained 17 positions. No way of sugarcoating it. He's now 7th.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, that's a car on the inside. What's going on?
It's a lap car. That's a lap car, I think you'll find.
Yeah, but why is he gone all the way back? Is he gone? Who is
Could be an end of line. Could be an end of line, or he might have to be told to go to the back.
That's Hakan's shot.
It is.
Oh, he's still got an engine. Sorry, we're just checking on board now. It's weird because I've never seen that happen before. Is he going to the end of the line, or what's the story? What's the story? What's the story? Yeah, he is going to the end of the line. And the line penalty.
Well, the lights on the pace car are out. By the way, if you've never tried these Lotus 79s, they are a thrill, but make sure you have a gearbox and not a flappy paddle, which is why I don't really drive these a lot.
Yeah, you have to blip them.
You have to blip them, and these guys, they won't be doing that per se today, but you've got to think to yourself that they have to be really on the edge.
They gotta do it at the start, when they restart.
They gotta do it. They gotta do it on a restart.
I mean, usually they would try and keep it in what, fifth? Fifth is the top gear for the Lotus 79s.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm guessing that's how they geared it, especially with the speeds they're going. You'd think it would definitely be fifth gear. These are the best replicas we've got for IndyCar, and this is such a challenge. Of course, because they aren't oval cars per se, that whole thing of multiple lines does come to play with these cars. If the pace car comes in, Edward Shelley bunches them up again and lets them go. And I think he's got away with it, but I think people are now starting to catch on to him at the moment. There's a little bit of single file action, but Sam Swallow does get around Ian Erasmus at the start of this restart. Apart from that, it is very quiet on the on the western front.
Oh dear lord, they just had the big one. Sorry to cut across you, but I think that was just about every single car in the midfield in the GSRC Pro just had a massive accident, and there are multiple crabbing cars. We'll come back to this though. Nice and clean from the European Sportsman boys. I'm proud to say we're doing very well for ourselves. Garen Batten in third position, chasing down Alex Rowdy Weggert, who managed to very cleverly sneak himself into second position, holding now the pattern between, I think those are actually teammates, car number 3 and the car 34. They are actually, yeah, they are. They're in the same skin.
Well, definitely will be teammates. Definitely. Love the NRG boys out there today.
Oh, it is the NRG boys. Sorry, yeah. I thought I was thought I was going crazy for a second. It's like, oh well, yeah,
Vega, of course, Vega Olsen driving for Bright Esports. Remember, it's the NRG Esports versus the NRG Racing versus Bright Esports. I'll get that right. That is not the NRG you see in esports. Do not worry, although that would be absolutely...
Why do they have the pick last on their car? I just noticed that.
The what, sorry?
The Alex Rowdy Weggert has picked last on his car.
No idea.
Ooh!
No idea. Vega and Shelley are going side by side, battling here, and Vega's on the inside. Shelley's on the inside. Vega's on the outside. This could be an insane move around the outside if Vega can make this. He's making this work, side by side they still go. Vega has got ahead, but he's taken so far off. He's made that move. And around the outside at turn 1. What a move there by Vega. And he's on his own. He's still battling with Shelley. This is fantastic. Taking as many different lines as they can at the moment. Now, is this going to be an NRG making a play here?
3 wide.
3 wide they go. 3 wide they go. Who's going to get out of this? Vega gets away with it.
Yeah, Weggert very cleverly positioning himself low. He kind of has to. He's nowhere else to go. As Garen Batten checks up, almost running into the back of Rowdy. But that is going to be Blunkfist in the car 47. That's the bright red looking car you see in the middle there, that bank. I'm going to keep it here. This is nice. You can just see in the background just a little bit of scraps. That's going to be Edward Shelley in trouble. He's lost several positions.
Yep, losing positions, gone down now.
Oh, but he's stuck, and he's stuck outside. He can't get back in. He can't shuffle inside.
No, but he's been trying to make that outside work, and it has not worked. It's worked for Vega. It's worked for others. Blomqvist right now, and Barton's going to make this. That's going to be tough. He hit him! At the moment the car went under the apron, there was only one thing that was going to happen there. And unfortunately, somebody comes up and does tap Blomqvist. Saw that from a mile away, Rob.
That was nasty. Oh, that was nasty. Yeah, unfortunately, slided up, and there's only one way that can really go, and that is an accident, unfortunately. And another hightail spin into the wall and to the Armco.
And
Unfortunately,
collected somebody.
Yeah, collected somebody indeed. Now, top 9 are still unscathed, as far as I can see. Brandon Kluge up, by the way, up into 5th, along with his teammate Justin Kurthoff in car number 46 and 40, respectively.
But Rob,
Yes.
car 21 had gained 21 positions.
Oh, for God's sake! How did Gaunt get into 3rd? He started last. How? I'm not saying that he's a bad driver or anything, but like, how can you cut your way through the field that effectively? He's only 25% of the way through. He's got plenty of racing to do. How? How did you manage that?
I'm shrugging my shoulders, but you can't see it. I'm just shrugging my shoulders right now. It's some fantastic driving from Mike, and we know his pedigree on ovals, to be fair. He's not been a bad oval driver, so to see something like that really does help. And also, I wonder how many of these drivers do have experience with this car. I know that the Lotus 49s do an oval race every year. And I also know that the 79s just did the Monza combined, something that I wanted to watch and I haven't watched because that always promises to be a blast. That's the closest the 79s have got to oval racing for a while. So do these drivers have much experience on ovals with this car? I doubt it, but hey, if this is a hit, we'll say the Lotus 79 crowd go and start doing some oval racing in their season. The 49s did it. Why not the 79s?
Because I think there's a reason why. It's very difficult.
It is, and they also have
and
no
also why you know why do that when you can just as easily not do ovals? Why not just
you just don't like turning left, do you?
No.
Good, because Monza combined is a right oval.
Oh no, actually no, that's actually painful. I do realize that. Look, Monza at least has some track to it. That's the only thing that keeps it out of like the bin for me.
I remember watching a couple years ago a league went NASCAR racing on Monza combined, no chicanes. A NASCAR league. Now, these cars had to have the second chicane because they could not stop in time. But can you imagine a NASCAR coming down the second chicane, having to brake in the middle of the second chicane just to slow down for Lesmo 1?
No, I really don't. I don't envision that happening, to be honest.
I want to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the rig up later and probably do that. That sounds amazing.
And what? Break your legs?
How will I break my legs?
Because the amount of pedal pressure that you need to actually get the car stopped.
That's why you brake early. Pace car is coming in, by the way. These guys don't need to brake hard because they probably lose the back of the car. They do need to be careful.
That is another thing as well. They can brake if they're on the straights. If they get caught out in the corner, it's praying. Like, literally just praying time. They literally can't do anything else.
Wow. Let's see what they do this time then. You've got me worried for a moment. As Vega is going to lead them away. Now remember, we have seen him do this before. He'll start to bunch them up. And he will go. And you know what? Batten's timed that well this time. Gary Batten is really now up to these tricks. He's going to take this away and he's going to lead them off, does Vega. There's no too wide happening elsewhere. But the gap between the top 3 and the rest of the field is starting to grow. Mike Gaunt looks to make a move. Is he going to make it 22 positions? Not yet. But he is hunting. Anything down the start-finish straight. He's going to have a little bit of a defense tier. And now they're going to have a little bit of a battle with Batten trying to go in the inside of Wiggins. He can't make it. And all of a sudden, the rest of the field starts coming together.
Held up by Alexander Rowley Weggert. Or should I say, the battle between himself, Garen Batten, and Mike Gaunt. NRG being represented by... Oh, Mike Gaunt's going on the outside. Oh, he could do it here. Mike Gaunt's in the lead.
Great move. Great move around the outside. Had the speed. Just carried it off. That's an Indy 500 move. We go there in a month and a half. And now all of a sudden, Vega's having issues. Batten comes around as well. And all of a sudden, the Bright Esports driver is starting to get a little bit swamped. Goes back, Batten goes by. Anybody else wants to go by? No. But all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars, 7 cars, all fighting it out at the front here. And Mike Gaunt is trying to build a lead, but look at that train of cars right now.
Coming down. Lap 58 just crossed by. Oh, actually, no. Lap 57. Nope, I was correct. Lap 58. It is going to go by quickly as they get back to stepping. As the guys are still trying to not get caught up in the melee. As you can just see, this is Weggert, the group of Weggert, Batten, Kuthoff, Kluge, Reeder. So it's a group of 6, all the way from second to 6th. No, sorry, second to 7th. And then there's another group trying to join them. Morel trying to join them. Aaron Erasmus also trying to do the same. Marcus Stromberg is just passing Sean Brown now. And getting up to speed, trying to catch back up. Brown trying to hold on as best he can.
Oh, hats off to Brown and Stromberg, by the way, because Stromberg is trying to make a recovery after pitting on lap 23. Brown's made a good recovery. He's now +5 at the start of the race after taking that pit stop for the fast repair, and also on fresher tyres. So he has got a little bit of life in those tyres compared to the others. Really helpful for him right now. You can actually see it working for him. Erasmus just doing a 22.9, just went purple. He's at the back of this queue of 9. This queue just continues to grow. Kruhoff's looking a bit racy. He wants to try and get side by side with Vegut. He may get this into the start-finish line, into turn 1. Don't think he's got the run, but he's now been pushed to the inside. And no, but there is a battle in the lead. Batten and Gaunt are having a little scrap. Gaunt now pushed to the outside. Batten's going to go to the inside. And they're still side by side. And they're still side by side, Rob. I reckon we're going to see another defense around the outside here by Mike Gaunt. Into turn 1 they go. Batten will not have the line here. And that is another defense by Mike Gaunt.
No!
And he's got it!
Gone!
No!
Oh!
360! And he's just avoided it. But everybody gets caught out. Oh, that was so unlucky.
All gone wrong. Oh, no. Deary me. He had a great run. Then I saw the car starting to slip, and I was like, oh, there we go. Yeah, that's what I was fearing was going to happen. Unfortunately. Oh, he spun again.
He's crabbing. He's
crabbing.
Crabbing.
His car is completely bananaed. Peeled, and unfortunately in some serious need of repair. He does have that one fast repair. He has to take it though. I'm pretty sure that is going to be a meatball flag for him.
Well, it's interesting.
And he's missed the pits because the pits are closed.
Yeah, meatball flags. Ooh. Kenneth Reeder, Mike Gaunt, Sam Swallow. Reeder got caught up at the end of that spin. He made it through. He made that 360, but Krufov had nowhere to go, and he made contact with him. And no fault of his whatsoever.
Oh, the leaders are coming in. No, sorry, not the leaders. Only some of them are coming in. So Garen Batten, Sam Swallow, Brown has stayed out. Morel is in. Erasmus is in. They're coming in for tires.
No. Sam Swallow is not coming in for tires. Sam Swallow has a meatball flag.
What?
And now Sam Swallow had the black flag.
What's that? Did he have a meatball flag? He went up on the jacks.
Yep, he had a meatball flag. Yeah, you fast repair and then
you
go
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Swallow had the black flag. I'm not sure what for. Now, did he go into the pits too fast? That's the next question. Remember, they do not have a pit limiter. And he came across the line. I reckon he was speeding.
Oopsie daisy. That's not good. Especially given the fact that he was in a good position to attack. And now he's stuck. On board with Weggert, the new leader of the race. He's gained 6 positions. Behind him will be Krutov in second. Kluge has now gone from 15th to 3rd. That's a very, very, very red and blue helmet that he's got on. I'm just saying that.
Is
like,
that meant to be an eagle? I think the helmet's not done properly because it looks like that's meant to be an eagle.
I think it's meant to be an eagle, but it's like I think he went for aesthetic. Hang on, let's see if I can get another angle on them.
Well, helmets are hard to make on iRacing. Let's be brutally honest.
Let me just. There we go. Now we can see. So it's the founding forefathers. It's the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, that is very American.
That's an exceptionally American helmet right there. I mean, though he also has this problem up ahead of him. 2 other cars. Briny holding out the yellow flag, by the way. Let's jump forward to Wegger. The lights are off on the car ahead, and that car ahead is the safety car. So the safety car will be in this lap. We're back to racing. That is the 4th caution so far. GSRC just experienced their... I think they've just also experienced their 4th caution. Another quite nasty incident on the finish straight. And quite a lot of cars on their lids. So, be very careful out there, guys. These cars aren't the easiest to drive, and they will buck and trend towards not having you stay alive, you know. They got the BGs.
On this restart, Rob, I think everyone needs to pay attention to the HW Racing car, Sean Brown. Because remember, the top 3 haven't taken tyres yet. Siebernagel, who's made 18 places behind Brown, hasn't taken tyres. Everybody else has got some fresher rubber here as they go again for this restart. Again, all the eyes will be on what can these cars on a fresher rubber do. I say fresher with quotation marks, such as the way, and you'll start to see the pull. Siebernagel, that's Gary Thomas in between Brown and Siebernagel, a lap car. Siebernagel did not get a good start here, but the top 3 all having a very nice little dance at the moment, and they are looking very racy at the front as Kluge was looking to try and make a move on his teammate. He did indeed. No, he did not. Kruhov is still holding on to that, but those 2 are battling. Now, the teammate battle, that allows that bright racing car of Vegert to just start to cause a gap. Not working at the moment as Kluge makes that move to take P2, and he's looking to go for P1. He holds off. Vega needs some help at the moment because Bright Esports are just running with this. Here comes Kluge down the inside, and as you like, there it is. New leader, Brandon Kluge.
Kluge now in the lead. He's gained 14 positions so far, and it's going to be difficult for him to move away because, I mean, well, there's no real way to move away. He's got nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go, and you actually start to see that allows Kluge to start making a move himself. He goes down the inside of 3 and 4, and he'll take that, but the fight is back on, and Vegert will fight this. Side by side, they go down into turn 1. Vegert will have the outside. You start to see it. The red car is Vegert. The white car, is Kluge. I'll get them right in a minute. Kluge on the outside, trying to find space. He's losing that overlap, and maybe Vegert has this, but there's nowhere for Kluge to go. And look at the straight line speed he has compared to Vegert right here. They'll go side by side again for another lap. This is just going to bring everybody into play right now, Rob. This is what they want. They want racing, but at the same time, these guys, they kind of want to start pulling away. It's not happening if they almost come together.
On the inside is Brendan Kluge. On the outside is Alex Aredi Vegert. Ooh, another little tap there. I thought they almost hit. Ooh, a little bit of a sharp tuck-in there from the number 14. Having to correct himself. By the way, it's Wegert versus the world here in the top 5 because 3 of the top 5 right now are teammates.
Look at Justin. Look at Justin. He's just made 2 positions up, going down there, and he's going to take the lead here. Kluhoff's on the inside. Kluger is on the outside, and as calm as you like, this is going to be NRG, and they see an opportunity. Sean Brown sees an opportunity. He's going to try and make this an NRG 1, 2, 3. Not an NRG, sorry. HW 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, sorry, it's HW.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, I thought it was. I called it as. Oh no! Kurthoff threw it away, and look who's sailing by.
That is Kluger's there. Sorry, that was Kruhoff. Then Kluger's now there, and Vega is still there on his own on that inside. He's trying to get this P2 away from Vega. Great racing by everybody. He might have a run down into turn 1 here. Kluger may have to fight this. He gets washed up a little bit into turn 1. They're all having a little bit of issue with the tyres here at the moment. Vega's going to continue this battle. He makes that cutback. He gets a little bit of slipstream. Takes the lead again. Great racing by all these drivers. Great fun, respectful racing. Still side by side, you know. Great camera view from Kruhoff as you see this. Vegas and Kluger continue their battle, and the 14 almost gets washed up there. And I mean, I could keep calling this side by side all day, Rob. You're like, no!
Yeah, you remember when you said we had good camera angles? Yeah, we just had a good camera angle of what just happened to poor Kluger. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, he's gone to the transfer. Let's have a look. The poor man, he's going to be not very happy with what I'm going to do to him.
You know, it almost looked like Vega didn't turn.
No, I think we'll have a look at this again. Go to half speed, and we can just see. I do think there is a little bit of everybody's worst enemy, a little bit of the Yoldi netcode. So come down, it's going to be into the 3 and 4. We're going to see the issue happen. No, I'll tell you what happened. Poor Kluger drove into him.
Yeah, Vega was turning, but Vega did not have a lot of steering lock on compared to what Kluger had there, unfortunately. One had a bit more turn into the other, and that is what happened there. And unfortunately for Kluger, he went flying. And of course, the caution rules are on iRacing, because we are doing automatic cautions, is an incident if a caution is caused if the car comes back over the apron. Well, the car was flipping for so long, it was taking a while for them to do that. But he does do that, and he was able to get the caution. Thomas Siebenagel is the only car in this race who has yet to pit, and he has now gained 20 positions since the start of the race.
Why is he oh my goodness. Why is he driving? Hang on a minute. Can I get... Oh, he's got very very nice car. It's all covered in paint though.
I think that's what it's meant to be though. That's the design. Bit of hex there, bit of paint. That is the Black Tree Race Crew's kind of like signature there. I love the carbon fiber. I love that. Just like I would just stick some paint on it. I'm trying to think. Would these cars in the 70s have carbon fiber? Carbon fiber was an 80s thing, wasn't it?
They would have had some. Would have had like
not a full carbon fiber body.
No,
not a full carbon fiber body.
No, the 79 was kind of where it started actually, but not full body. But it started. The road started for them with the carbon fiber, and then in the 80s, everyone was like, "I want my carbon fiber."
Oh yeah, wasn't it Lotus that came? Was it Lotus that came to a track? It was like, "Yeah, we've got an all carbon fiber car," and everyone's like, "What? It's gonna do nothing." And it was like, "Yeah, see you guys. We just dominate the field."
Yeah, it's just like.
Right. Here's something interesting. Look who's behind Sean Brown. It's a lap car. It's Gary Thomas.
Sean Brown. Let's have a look. Just behind Sean Brown. Oh, it is a lapped. Is that a lapped car?
It is a lap car. It's Gary Thomas, a lap car. So Sean Brown is going to have a little bit of an advantage.
Oh, it is. It is indeed. Gary Thomas is out of sync, and he will not be waved around. Only if he's behind the safety car would he be waved around. He is stuck behind the leader, and he is not able.
We'll see what happens, because this is going to be quite interesting, Rob. Because this allows Brown to get a little bit of a lead, unless Gary Thomas is slow at the start here. So be looking for other positions around the rest of the field. Remember our championship leaders, Boomsma, Batten, Olsen, Shelley. They are still in with this, some of those guys. In fact, at the moment, Olsen would be taking a little bit of an advantage. Brown takes them away, and it's all going to be down to the rest of the field as Gary Thomas, he has the pace. He's just going to be holding on. Everybody else is sticking to their single file start. No one being a bit aggressive. It looks like Kenneth Reeder is going to have a little bit of some moves. I tell a lie, that's a lap car. That's Hackenschott and Andy Banfield battling. Meanwhile, though, it's pretty quiet. Sean Brown is starting to establish quite a lead, if I do say so myself.
Sean Brown looking like he got the gap that he needs. It's about 6 into the second, but he is under the knowledge that Silbernagel would wish to battle with Daniel Hulmer. So Hulmer, oh, well, I do say that. He's actually let slip the goose a little bit. Back down to 4th and 5th. This is Hagström and Shane Norton battling for 4th position. Sort of the big battle as so far. Jan Brony in 6th. We haven't talked about him today. He's gained 16 positions given the fact that the current state of things. He's also still got his faster pair in his pocket, so if he does get into a bit of trouble, he still has another chance to get back out there and get some points down. Now, the next car down is Hagström. Now, you may have paid attention. Let's go back to Jan Brony. Now, pay attention to where the car is, where the camera goes. And pay attention. Well, hang on a minute. On the inside goes Mikhail Hagström, passing by Shane Norton. Shane Norton flips it back down on the inside, coming into one on the lap 80. Oh, he's stuck in the wall, and that is dead engine. He's gone. Hagström is out of this race.
That is a shame. I was watching the front because there was a battle at the front between Gary Thomas and Sean Brown. But we're going to look at this replay once again. In he goes. He's going to get a little bit washed up.
Have a listen. Let's just both of us shut up and have a listen, because this one is, oh dear. That's catastrophic failure right there.
He's dead.
Oh yeah, that. He's gone. I mean, not even given the fact that he had a massive accident. The reason why I say he's gone, he's already used his faster pair. He has no further faster pairs, and unfortunately, if we can look here, just look on the inside, going to quarter speed as we come into turn 1. On the inside is, and unfortunately, I do have to say, just closing the door too far down, and Wall's ready to greet him, and then Wall ate him alive.
That's a shame.
A bang.
That is such a shame for him.
I mean, not the nicest way to enter a race, but it's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Well, entered at the back of the car, sorry, so you would expect that. As that was happening, by the way, like I said, I was watching the battle between Gary Thomas and Sean Brown, because Gary Thomas managed to get ahead of Sean Brown right as that caution flag happened. So he gets a lap back. He's now 1 lap down. He's now going to have to do it the hard way after being at the front for so long, but he's done fantastic to get that little battle. Sean Brown was actually starting to get punished. Holmer was starting to catch up to him. Siebenegger was starting to reel him in as well. So that was a blessing for Brown that the caution flag came out when it did, because now he's able to really change everything, because apart from what happened last time with the lap car, it's different to what he'll probably do now. Not a lot of drivers know what Brown is going to do on this restart. We've seen some very interesting restarts here, Rob. I wouldn't be surprised if Sean Brown just guns it without anyone knowing it. I don't think he'll bunch the field up. I think he'll just gun it.
My estimates would say that this is a Raidillon TV guessing game. My estimates would say maybe not. The reason why I say that is because if he guns it and he makes a mistake, he's gone. It's all about caution now. It's all about let's not try and, you know, make things happen where I have an accident. Because, I mean, the only cars that have not used their fast repairs are Thomas Silbernagel, Jan Brody, Garen Batten, Ian Erasmus, Justin Koitov, Alex Rowdy Wegert, and Tom Guest.
It's interesting because Vega's a lap down. So that's very interesting to see that.
Yeah, and Guest is 5 laps down. By the way, look at Hagstrom's car. We're actually just going to take a look at it a bit closer. Oh, that is one broken boy.
That looks like someone's just picked it up from a scrapyard.
Yeah, and the fact that you can just see, by the way, just gonna get into the charity here. Oh, look at the charity. Oh, look at that! It's Tomorrowland Fund. Tomorrow Fund for children with cancer. Please make sure, if you are of the charity prototype, and of course, given the fact that it's a bit difficult out there, but any cent counts for charities, especially charities that do very good work for all kinds of kids that are unfortunately less well off than the rest of us. But you can see just sheer amount of damage on this car, especially given the fact that there's really no front wing. The side pods are completely irrevocably damaged. That whole side of the car is just...
It's going green right now, I'm afraid, just to interrupt. We are going green right now. And Sean Brown is going to lead them off, as you start to see. He doesn't really bunch them up, and he manages to get a little bit of a jump, but allows Homer, if he wants it, to have a little bit of a move. I don't think we're going to see any battling again on the first lap. It is just to set yourself going. We're at lap 92 of 200. Hagstrom has officially retired, as he has now decided to call it a day. Silbernagel is trying to threaten Homer, but remember, Silbernagel's on 93 lap old tyres. These guys are on 70 lap old tyres. Not entirely sure what the tyre models was like on ovals to these cars, but that should be playing a difference for him at the moment. Very single file and all quiet on the rest of the front at the moment, but don't be surprised to see Silbernagel making some moves very shortly. I'm guessing Ross has gotten his push to talk button again.
No. I was just letting the race play out, because it is actually starting to group up here at the top, and it's actually Silbernagel on the inside, looking a bit. He's a bit tappety at the moment. He's a bit tappety, and the reason why I say he's tappety is actually quite He's getting very close to the rear end of Daniel Homer. Daniel Homer is also getting close to the rear end, I should say, of Mr. Brown, as Sean Brown still trying to navigate around. I think all of these are trying to navigate around, as just trying not to hit each other again. Mr. Shane Norton sort of in no man's land, out in fourth. When we get down to Jan Brony, fifth, being chased by a lapped car, actually. Ollison is in sixth position. Sorry, we just had him pass there. That was Andy Morrell on the outside, passing Edward Shelley. Now, Shelley had a great start to the race, and he's just, unfortunately, something's gone wrong. He's just lost that mojo that he's had. He is putting in competitive laps, but he's not having the mojo I think that he should be having. Kenneth Reeder and Mike Gaunt. Mike Gaunt's actually returning all the way back to the top. He's back on the charge. Kenneth Reeder also on a charge. He's back where he started the race, so that's a good thing. Blomqvist is quite a bit down on the wreck. That is going to be Garen Batten almost turning the car number 47 in 11th position. We have Garen Batten as well mentioned in 12th. 13th is going to be Marcus Strumberg, passing a lapped car Brian Boomsma in 14th. 15th is going to be Ian Erasmus. And we really do have to go back to Krutov. It's a mix of cars right now. And then in 17th is Banfield, and that is going to be in the blue car in the center of your screens. Sam Swallow in 18th, 19th is going to be Weggert. Having started so well, unfortunately we saw what happened to him. He went into the stratosphere and is really stuck at the back. Then 21st, sorry, no, it was Kluge that went into the stratosphere, and he's kind of in no man's land right now, as is Hackett Schutt. Schutt is actually multiple laps down, as is Kluge. He's 3 laps down, but the biggest unfortunate of them all is Tom Guest, who, while still racing, good on him, he is 5 laps down. He has a lot of climbing to do before he is able. He really does have to essentially stay out. He is unable, if he wants to gain laps back, he is essentially unable to pit. Oh, that's a little bit of a man. It's going to be the 487, by the way, of Blankfist. Almost getting shuffled out of position. But skip back up to the lead, and I think it is actually still stable. It's how stable up in the lead.
It's been very stable. It's been very stable. Has been a couple looks at the move. A lot of it in the middle of that field. A lot of too wide going on. But these guys are keeping it calm, because that gap now, top 4 are separated by less than a second, and then 4th to 5th is almost 2.5 seconds. These 4 have just pulled away, and they've just got a groove going. I think they all realise this is what they want to do. This is what they want to see. They are lap 104. We're over the halfway point. 4 cars on their own. They continue to pull. Andy Morrill is trying to catch up to them, but to catch up 2.5 seconds, yeah, he's gained 3 tenths thanks to being in clear air. But he's got nobody with him. Jan Moroni is not in the slipstream. What can Morrill do right now? Curious. It's actually a 1.5, not a 2.3. I was looking at the wrong stats. Regardless, it's 1.7. It is closing. But these leaders at the moment, Brown, Holmer, Siebernagel, Norton, start to see Holmer now looking to make a move. He's got a great run out of the final corner. Side by side they go, and Brown is going to go downtown to make this an almost touch and hold on to it, but Holmer backs out, and that's his charge gone for the moment. I think he almost washed up there, but again, another case of almost coming down onto the apron, and that almost spelt disaster for all drivers involved. And they've got no fast repairs, so they don't really want to get in another crash.
I think another crash wouldn't be the best for any of them, because they're all kind of in. Well, they're stuck in what can only be described as purgatory, really. I mean, they're kind of stuck with nowhere to go and nowhere really to sort of move and navigate, because of just how sort of contracted and how tight it is around quite a lot of the track. I mean, we're looking at Holmer right now. As he's going around, he's kind of wanting to move forward. He can't move forward. Silbernagel wants to move forward as well. He can't. I mean, Silbernagel doesn't have fresh tires at all. He's the only one that has not pitted, and he's going to probably have to stick to it, because if he pits, he's done essentially, because he'll have to go all the way back. He can only pit under caution, and if everybody else around him pits. If he doesn't, if everybody else does not pit, and he takes tires, he's done. Basically just gives up the race. It's not to say that it's a bad thing. It's more just like he can't necessarily navigate the big problem of, well, what's he going to do if he gets kind of contracted. Ian Erasmus, by the way.
Yeah, go on.
With Boomsma, his teammate. These are 2 NRG cars. By the way, very well done. Is that like tiled NRG cars? It is. Well, it's kind of tiled. It looks. It's a hexagon mosaic tile. I like it. But he's chasing down Boomsma. One non-fast. One car that has yet to be fast rated actually is Erasmus. So he does have touching the curb or the slipway on the inside. I'm surprised they haven't messed. Is Lotus 49? Can you adjust the gearing on the 49?
Well, these are the 79s. I have no
sorry,
idea.
79. Sorry. By the way, sorry, Gary Thomas. Back away a bit. He's down at 20th, chasing down a car. Sorry, Ian Erasmus has actually just passed Boomsma. We just went away at the wrong time from this, but we do have another one. Kenneth Reader in the middle, sort of stuck in the middle with you, chasing down Olsen in 9th, and is ahead of him. Got actually quite a number of lapped. He's actually got one lapped car ahead of him.
He's got one lap car, which is going to be a little bit of a struggle because they are racing for their life. And there is the move. Olsen there getting a little bit caught out there. And Olsen's going to lose that to Reader. Probably not the best place to lose out of position. He's got Gary Batten behind him as well. And you start to see as well at the front more cars trying to make moves around. You see some too wide people just threatening. But this 292 of Olsen holding on. And just look at this. Here we go. Have a blimp camera view right now of these battles going on. That is Vegert.
Yeah, trying to fend off. Yeah, he's trying to fend off Thomas. Now, unfortunately for Wegert, he had shown the signs, all the good signs of having a great race, and then it's all kind of just fallen apart for him. He hasn't taken a fast press, so he has obviously, unfortunately, had the shuffle about the pits, which is what the issue was. Because he has not come in for, because on that last lap he actually, well, he came into the box for 2 seconds. I'm not sure if that's correct.
That's a stop and hold. Gotta be a stop and hold then for Vega. That's the only reason why he'd be a lap down.
Well, cone to cone was 26 seconds.
Yeah, Sam Swallow was 27, so that is definitely a stop. That's either a drive-through or a stop and hold.
More than likely, it's a 1 second stop and hold. Or is it a 1 second stop and hold? Like enter and exit? Isn't there like a penalty for that? Isn't there a name for it?
Yeah, it is literally just a stop and hold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
By the way, Wegger unfortunately losing the battle. That is Wegger on the outside being passed by Gary Thomas, who's starting to come back up through. And by the way, Erasmus ahead in 14th right now. He's actually chasing down Stromberg on the inside, makes it nice and handy, and gets up into 13th. That's Daniel Blomqvist, by the way, ahead, so it is for position. He will have it on the inside, and 12th, so in 2 corners. Oh, well, I do say that. That's a huge slide there.
Oh, Rob, we got free wide in an accident. We got an accident. It's Shelley and Rita. The big one. It is a big one. And they were battling, and they were free wide. They were getting all twisted and turned there. When you look at the replay, see how far back we can go through the replay. Because it was a bad one. I want to see who got caught up with Erasmus there. It was Sam Swallow. No, it wasn't Sam Swallow. Apologies. It was Andy Banfield getting caught up, and he did a big flip as well.
Well, 3 wide. A little bit of a tap onto the 14. The 14 had to come up, hit the wall, got clambered, and then you could just see the teammate. Oh! I'm sorry to laugh. Oh, dear me, that is a massive accident. Let's just take another look at that. Oh, poor Reader. He's gonna have to explain to his teammate it wasn't his fault. Because look at this.
I mean, they're teammates. They're teammates.
Yeah, they are.
No. Banfield's for V Apex and Reader's for Grizzly TFR. They got the 2 blue liveries, but
why do they have the exact? Like they have the exact same livery.
They're not exact.
Yeah, they are.
They're not.
They might as well be. But yeah, that was a massive accident. What's wrong with Jan Brown?
Siebernagel pitted. Hello.
Silbernagel. He's purged. He's immersed.
Pitted.
Yeah, he's merged back out in 8th. I mean, if I'm being honest, I mean, if he were to pit, probably now would have been the right time.
It's a good time. Look who pitted. Sean Brown, Siebernagel, Norton, Gaunt, Morrill, Batten, Boomsma, Roney. They all pitted.
Yeah, so everybody around him pitted, so he did definitely go in when the irons were hot. So he is actually he's taking inventory now, and going to see what he can do with it. By the way, Daniel Halmer, in leading his teammate, yeah, that is his teammate, I am confirming now, of picked last crew. That's what I'll call them.
Bright Esports.
I know the Bright Esports. I'll just keep getting the names wrong just to see how quickly they'll run into my DMs and be like, Rob, stop being a Pepega.
I am curious because look at this whole queue of cars. Holmer's got a lap car behind him. Then Olsen's got 2 lap cars behind him. Then there's 3 lap cars between P6. So these guys that are pitted, they have to get around lap cars if they want to make positions. That's going to be a challenge. They do have 77 laps left. So there is time to do it. And are we ahead of GSRC? That's the biggest question.
Well, GSRC just ended a massive wreck as well. So everybody's not safe on this track. We are not ahead of GSRC. We're 10 laps down.
Is safe from Phoenix Raceway.
I think that is the main takeaway. Is nobody is safe from this track. This track is lethal.
All I'm going to say is, if anyone's ever done NIS here, they know exactly what I'm going to say.
What's NIS?
The NASCAR NASCAR League, the year-long schedule for NASCAR, where they mimic the whole season, but half distance for all races, and they come here and it's just a wreck fest, just a chaotic fest. But it's worse than what we've seen. This, because it's an open race. This is league racing. This is great racing. A lot of these accidents just caused by people getting washed up. Just a little few taps there. That free wide was unfortunate. Look at the gap Holmer's giving to the pace car, though. He's going to lead them off. He has a teammate behind him. That is Hacken's shot right behind him. They are teammates. He might be a lap down. But the Bright Esports finally have the front 3 on a restart, albeit 2 of them, 1 and 2. Can they use this to their advantage? They probably timed this very well. Holmer's going to lead off. Hacken's shot's going to be behind him. Olsen's going to be there. Now, if they get far ahead, maybe Holmer will let his teammate get by. That could be interesting. But right now, Holmer, half a second in the lead. Almost a second in the lead, though, from P2.
You just see, by the way, what a sort of a lap car in the middle of a sandwich would do. If you look at the left, the timing tower does actually show the fact, but cameras would even show it even better. This is Daniel Halmer now we're looking at, the cameras are focused on, and that there is Olsen. That's 2 cars, and he's actually lost ground because one of the lapped cars has actually passed him. And then one of the lapped cars is going to pass the lapped car of... Oh, no. Hold on to your hats, gentlemen, because... oh, dearie me, that was close. By the way, I'd like to mention Kenneth Reeder and Andy Banfield have both retired, so it is now down to 21 cars racing. By the way, we're in a big group. Silbernagel, having taken tyres, he still actually has the clean car and has not used his fast repair, so he still has another chance to get back out there and make some mischief if he needs to. Not to say to actually make mischief, but you know what I mean. He can still make a mistake. He's still got the buffer.
He lost a position at the start of this race, though. The start of this restart, sorry. But they do have quite a few cars to get around. There are like 3 lap cars between them, from like P7 down and P6. So he does have to just wait a little bit, just hold on, see what they can do. And you start to see if he starts to pull away there, or maybe just pull into the gap, because Silbernagel is kind of in no man's land at the moment. He's got Boomsma right behind him, but he's starting to struggle to catch up to the rest of them. Maybe the tyres need warming up at the moment, but everybody else is not having much trouble with these tyres, so it might just be a Silbernagel issue with the setup. But he is being threatened by Boomsma at the moment, and Boomsma may look for a move next lap. It does feel like that.
Yeah, Boomsma, as we saw, had a bit of an issue and is having to sort of play second fiddle. By the way, Mike got back up another position, passing Shane Norton for 8th. And we just saw Ian Raz was going up a position. He's now into 3rd. Oh, no, he's under threat as we see another car under threat. And that's going to be the car of Silbernagel under threat as Boomsma makes the pass. And that is for 11th position. Just skip to the front of the grid. As you can see, it's difficult to follow, but the red car of the 47 you can just see there on your screens. We'll hop on with them. as boom, Ian Erasmus running away there, not leaving anything for chance and not leaving or not wanting Blogfist to hang around. Though same could be said for Mike Gaunt, who's trying to leave this car behind. That's car number 20 of Sean Brown in the dust, who's got the smiley face on him. I don't think he's smiling in that car right now. I guarantee you Sean Brown would have thought he'd been up a bit further by now. The way the cookie crumbles is that he's stuck behind Mike Gunn, who's on his own charge. 17 positions gained, and he's actually, even after his accident, he's regained enough positions to be the biggest gainer of the race.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. So take note. The fact that he had an accident, still able to get there, it's good. He's good going.
Take note. Have a crash at the start of the race.
Take notes, by the way. Olsen. We haven't really talked about him. He got a mention. I think I mentioned him once. Not much else, but he is actually second. 15 positions gained for the Bright Esports guys. They're doing very well. They've kind of played the game, but they played it very, very well. But stuck behind, I think that is the 062 of Sam Swallow. Now, should mention for anybody who's not completely sure about the rules of flags in iRacing, a flag for lapped cars does not necessarily exist. The blue flag for caution fast lapped car approaching, or lapper car approaching, is an advisory. It is not mandatory to let the car by. Now most leagues will take that as let the car by, and it's, gentlemanly, shall we say, gentlemanly and gentlewoman. Yeah, gentlemanly and gentlewomanly to let the car by. But it's not a guarantee, and if you are faster, you can actually make the argument, I should be ahead of him. And unfortunately for Mr. Halmer, he has got that. He has that car on Sam Swallow. He is actually faster.
He's faster, but he's also not having to be so aggressive at the moment.
I think what he's trying to do is, if for Sam Swallow, he's trying to get to the back of the front of the pack, isn't he?
Yeah, and technically, Swallow is now on the lead lap, which will absolutely help him. There's a caution right now, knock on wood, we don't want one. Then he will get right to the back of the field. He's fought back, he's got that position back. That's what he wants. Regardless, even with all this happening at the moment for Holmer, he's still 0.8 of a second ahead of Olsen and Erasmus. Olsen and Erasmus are battling. You can see it. They are battling at the moment, as is the like of Blomqvist and Stromberg behind them. Gaps are starting to be formed, and not just because of the lap cars, but there is massive gaps happening at the moment, just from the cars battling and the cars having to fight their way back. I've got my eyes at the moment on this battle with Erasmus and Olsen, because Erasmus is going to go down to the inside and he's going to take that position from Olsen. And just like that, he takes it, but he's managed to wash himself up a little bit up the track. And here comes Olsen. The cutback is on, and Olsen's going to go down the inside. He's going to get that position back. Really good racing by the two of them, but Erasmus has to stay on the bottom. They almost touch.
Yeah, they really are.
The door for Erasmus.
They really are quite close, quite difficult actually now at this stage. In late stage of the game, it has actually just flown by. How, even with the cautions flown by, how quickly the race has gone. We are coming up to 75% run through. Oh, that was a slip there. Oh, Erasmus is gone. No, as is Olsen.
Oh, they touch.
Oh,
he's still got now the caution, and they're not slowing down. They're not slowing down. Whoa.
You want to see that again?
No, that scares me.
No, because you want to see what I saw.
Did he touch the wall? Did he touch the inside?
No, they didn't touch each other.
No, I meant like the apron. Oh yeah,
he went on the apron. But that's not what I'm looking at. Look at that quick reaction from Olsen. There was a bit of netcode there, but he didn't. On Olsen's car, he's actually pristine. Look at this.
No.
Oh, yoink. Just sheer hat holding.
That would make a great video though. But you know when you get the footage of the cars going right past you, that camera angle just made it look like you set up for the idea of getting one of those camera angles with the cars going right past you in a pack. That was beautiful, but also if I'm in that car, I'm scared. I'm hands off the wheel.
I'm pretty sure Alston was probably screaming. If I'm going to be honest, I'd be screaming. I'm
hands off the wheel because I got a DD, and I'm just hoping. Erasmus has to come into the pits. He's got a bent wing. Did he have a fast repair left? He did.
Erasmus does have a fast repair. Yes, he does.
So Erasmus will take
He's one of the few drivers to actually still has it. He'll have to use it. Oh, he is. He's got a good bit more damage. I'm surprised he actually has damage though. Where did he get it from?
Pass.
Well, he took the fast repair anyway. He takes tires as well. It's probably the best chance for him.
But it does mean, in terms of the front of the field, Rob, Daniel Holmer will be leading them off again. He's got Hackenschott in 19th, Tom Guest in 20th behind him. And then it's Daniel Blomqvist on the lead lap in P2. Then it's the lap car of Gary Thomas. Then it's Marcus Stromberg and Jocelyn Kruhoff. So all of a sudden, those lap cars, they have now started to make a little bit of movement and start to go around. But Olsen pitted that time by. Championship standings just continue to change while that's happening, because now who's the best person in the top 10 in the race at the moment? It is going to be
Gone
in a surprise. Who, sorry?
I said gone.
No, Mike Gorn is currently sitting 14th in the championship, 16th in the championship. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were saying who's sitting in.
No, sorry. Yeah, no, sorry, no. It's actually Daniel Blomqvist. He's currently P2, but he's 7th in the championship. In terms of all the people out in the top 10 at the moment, he's the highest. So it's not going to help at the moment. But when you've got Olsen now sitting 15th, you've got Oomsma sitting 9th, who's just trying and gain some points on people. He's got Batten, his closest rival, a couple places behind him. Olsen as well, we just talked about, in 15th. Edward Shelley, unfortunately, getting caught in some of those accidents. So he's retired the car. He's in the pits. He's been in the pits for 14 minutes, so we won't see him again. Eric Feek is not racing today. Blomqvist, we talked about. Vegut, we talked about as well. It's all very close at the front. And of course, it's only the fourth race of the season. But on an oval track, this can really change things in the championship. So it's really fun to look at.
It is. It is going to be a bit of a pariah at the moment, because all of the cars that we have currently on the set are, it's a bit difficult, I think, to really gauge, because so right now, the car that has the newest, freshest tires is Erasmus. He's down to 13th, and the guy who's actually got the oldest tires is actually the leader right now. So
that scares me. If you've ever done oval racing, you know why that scares me. Don't spin the tires, please, Daniel. You've got 120 lap old tires here on this restart, and he's got his teammates behind him, so he should be okay. Yeah, he takes it very calm, cautious and collective as he makes the restart. Again, we're not going to see any battles going into the restart, because I reckon we saw some battles earlier because people forgot the overtake rule. You cannot undertake on a restart, on single file restart. But Homer starting to pull away from everybody again. That gap is starting to expand. It's a second on his teammate in P2, but he's also now over half a second ahead of the whole pack. Just what he wanted to see on that restart.
And essentially off he goes. Compared to the Mike Gaunt, he's got stuck in a group and has made an overtake, but look at Daniel Homer. He's already almost a second away from the rest of the group. So everybody else has actually, a lot of people have actually come back around. By the way, remember when you said Swallow was being aggressive? Aggressiveness has paid off. He's now only 6 seconds away from the lead. So, Aggressive, but his gamble paid off. He did get a caution. That's what he needed.
Yeah, that's what he needed. He's now up into 14. We've only got 15 cars on the lead lap, and that's going to pay off for him, especially if we get a late caution. Because let's be brutally honest, it's going to happen.
Kluger's back in the pits.
Yeah. Not see what for. That looks like that's either repairs or a stop and hold.
16 seconds, and he's still got damage to his front right. What's going on? Oh, he's coming back out in the middle of the traffic. Holds it low, but has to rejoin somewhere. He's rejoined the racing line, but he's still not up to speed. There he is, in the gap, but it's just
holding. And that looks as well. Looks like we're getting now. It's starting to get people looking to make some moves. Mike Gaunt was trying to make some moves, and other drivers as well. Gary Thomas is trying to hold off a Marcus Stromberg chase at the moment. You start to see cars starting to make different lines out there, especially behind Kruvhoff and Brown. Us now starting to have a little bit of a move. Oh my!
Ooh. What was that? Oh goodness gracious! That was a massive accident. What on earth?
Gary Thomas hit the wall. Gary Thomas hit the wall. He goes flying, and don't tell me he hit the 46. Kruvhoff.
Yeah, Kruvhoff got absolutely, completely and utterly slapped. And you can see here, we're just coming up to the straight where it happened. Oh, that is the... Oh, and at the exact wrong time, just got absolutely cleaned.
We do not condone what is on the bottom of the car.
What's on the bottom of the car?
The words on the bottom of the car there you do not want to see.
What does it say?
You can paint the bottom. I am not saying it.
Oh, well, that's an accident. On the bottom of which car? Oh. I just...
Once again, we do not condone.
Yeah, we don't condone what was just presented underneath that car.
If somebody's watching, if you could clip that, please, because that's just brilliant. I want that. I really have to clip that myself. But...
Well, I was just like, just like a quote from Senna or something, if you don't go for a gap, that no longer exists. That kind of quote.
Yeah.
Where it's just like it's very cliche. You're just there. Don't look at it. It's cringe. I didn't think it would have an expletive like that. and the worst thing is, I read it in the James May voice.
Exactly, same here. I'm not the only one. I think I might go back and look at that later. That was brilliant. Oh, wow. I mean, yeah. What? Okay. Compose myself.
Yeah.
Pace car light system.
Are you composing?
I'm composing a masterpiece here. Well, these guys are composing a masterpiece because let's be brutally honest, the racing's been great. The two wides, the moves around the outside, the fresh battling. It's been fantastic yet again by these guys in the major series. And Marcus Stromberg will be leading them away. I mean, that's the first time he's done that.
Yeah. After having the issues that he had, but he does have Sean Bryan right behind him.
It'd be fine. Sean Brown, remember, does not have a fast repair left. I think Stromberg doesn't have a fast repair left, does he?
I don't think. The only three cars that have a fast repair left are Silbernagel, Batten, Brony, Weger.
And the 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yeah.
And Vega's a lap down. Hackenschot's going to get a lap back though. But he'll still be he was 2 laps down. He'll be 1 lap down. Gary Thomas is still in the pit. I think that's his day done. So we are 14 cars on the lead lap. God, I can't believe that flip. Can't believe that flip.
I mean, it's gonna be even funnier when you look at it because I actually angled the camera to that look. Because
I did, yeah. I saw.
That's literally the only reason I'm able to actually see it is that like I have to go zoom and very quickly turn away.
I thought you saw it originally when you flicked out the replay. No. Anyway, here comes Marcus Stromberg for Bright Esports. Sean Brown behind him for HW Racing. And then it's Shane Norton behind them. And Kluge. Kluge's there. He's a lap car, but he's fourth in line. Can he be a spanner in the works? Well, at the moment, Stromberg had a good launch, but Sean Brown had a better one. We may be looking at an overtake very shortly. Brown's going to try and go around the outside. Here they go. Sean Brown round the outside of 3 and 4. And he might be able to hold on to this as they come onto the start. Finish straight. He does just a little bit of an overlap there. Can he hold on to this? He's going to go around the outside. This is going to be one hell of a move if he sticks it. Sean Brown to the lead around the outside of turn 1 on lap 159.
Sean Brown now leading the race. Energy in first, and where is... No, sorry, I'm getting the wrong person. Brown is not Energy. He's
HW Racing.
HW Racing. They're gonna really slap me in the face when they see me. It's just like, Rob, get it right. But in first place, and chasing down the W for today, but Shane Norton is trying to catch back up, leading a train of about 5 other cars, including, I think that's 1 lapped car, 2 lapped cars in the middle. Kind of stuck in place. Gary Batten trying to catch back up. And we have Sam Swallow, by the way, making moves on the inside of, that's going to be Ian Brony, who has to yield. He's on the outside. Ian Brony really isn't having a good charge right now. He's actually lost 2 positions. You can just see that, and he's about to lose a 3rd. No, sorry, that's not going to be a 3rd position loss. It's going to be a lapped car making his way back through the field. It's one of the NRG cars. I really can't speak today, can I?
Don't worry about it. Do not worry. Yeah, Brody there. Look at that pile of 4. You got a massive group at the front of the field. As Vegert for Bright is trying to cause a little bit of an issue for these guys. The top 4 have gotten around the lap cars at the front of the field. And Vegert is there trying to battle as well. Siebernagel goes up a position on Gary Batten as well. As Zambroni continues this little scrap with Mike Gaunt. And you know it's Mike Gaunt there as he starts to go into the inside. He'll get that position on Maroney, but nope. Can't make it stick there. Good defense around the outside. They're having some really good defenses today. That high line into 1 is really working for a lot of these drivers today. I am surprised. It's not the conventional line around here, but I'm guessing when you've got a lot of downforce, any line's a good line around here. Except for the one in the wall.
Any lines the line, as they say. Well, I mean, I've had my fair share of the wall, so, you know, I can't really say much.
So the leaders, it is all starting to get interesting with the leaders because it looks to be that the 95 of Shane Norton, he's having to defend against a lap car at the same time he's trying to battle the 777 of Andy Morrill. This is very interesting at the front of the field. Andy Morrill now trying to catch up to Marcus Stromberg as well. And it would not surprise me if, yes, here we go, 777, Andy Morrill goes into P2. And that's going to help up, but that's helping Sean Brown. He's starting to pull away from a lot of these drivers, and we're almost getting a free wide here at the front as you're just watching this little scrap. What can happen at the front? Miss not a lot at the moment. There's Mike Gaunt on the screen, just watching a couple doubles go by, and some back-to-back, and another move
Blomqvist
around
moving.
the outside. Yeah, it's Blomqvist moving. It is Blomqvist moving. I tell you what, Andy Morrow is starting to move. He's right on the back of Sean Brown right now. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Morrow try to make a move in the 777. He is. Morrow down the inside. We've got a new race leader. We see 3 wide almost. No. Morrow. Brown side by side. Morrow spun. And he's collected a car. And that is the 14. I think that's the 14.
That is...
It's Vega. It is. Yeah, it's the 14.
Alexander Vega. Well, it's now the time to use that. Unfortunately, it's now time to use his fast repair. But another look at what just happened there. Now look at that is going to be Weggert, and you can just see how quickly it all happened ahead of him. And yeah, it just shows the wrong way, and just you can just see how well you can even see on board and switch to his roll bar. That is not a view you want to see. Like something's gone terribly wrong for you if this happens. When you look on board, just see how quickly it all sort of went down. In 3, in 2, in 1, and then just bang, because he's erupted out at the end of the car and squeezed into the wall, and he's now a passenger.
Boing, 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 boing. That is a Talladega Nights. Yep, I'm definitely flying here.
You can just see that. It's just, yeah, that's one very damaged car.
So, he has, as you'd expect, a meatball flag from that.
Well, I can only imagine. I mean, he's just about getting to... no, he missed his box. No, he didn't miss his box. He got into his box. Okay, he took the fast spare.
So, lap 171 of 200. It's getting very interesting at the front here. We've got another 10 minutes of racing minimum. Fine, there's no more incidents. Knock on wood. Andy Morrow actually has a meatball flag. We know about Edward Shelley and Gary Thomas. They have not retired the car yet per se, but they are retired. I think that's Morrow's race done as well, because I don't think he's got another fast repair. If I recall, it's Siebernagel and Batten are the only drivers with fast repairs. Am I right?
Let me just double check. It is only Silbernagel and Batten are the only ones, I think, and Jan Brony and Tom Guest.
Well,
so as far as you know, not having to use fast repairs is, then two of the lads or 4 of the lads are doing well.
All I'm going to say, Rob, is look who's P3. Just come back out of nowhere. He's had a very quiet race. Championship leader Brian Boomsma, out of nowhere, has got himself back up to P3. He started 3rd. And everyone around him has gone up and down, while you've got Brown gaining 15 places, Siebernagel gaining 19 places. You've got Schott losing 13. Shelley lost 21 because he retired. And there's Boomsma, started 3rd, is 3rd. And when the lights go off the pace car, when he restarts, he has a shot of winning this. And I must be honest, Rob, I didn't think he had a shot.
Did you just say Broomsma?
No, I said Boomsma.
No, you said Broomsma.
Whatever.
And
Whatever happens.
You can go back. You can go back in time and tell me.
I'm not going back in time. Whatever happens here, I thought Boomsma was going to just do damage limitation. No, he's more than damage limitation right now. Now he's going for the win. This could be interesting.
Well, it was damage limitation given the fact that he had no other choice. But now that the field has sort of done what it has done, he's able to get back to it. But now we're coming up to the green. The lads will have to look at the signs there. Look at the Goodyear sign. Hopefully their tires are still up to snuff. And hopefully they will get back to racing. And holding up the field is Sean Brown. And off he goes. As is everywhere driving a green flag here back at Phoenix. Crossing into lap 174. Tentatively there's going to be 10 minutes remaining. So if you have a move to make, you best start doing it. because you've only got 10 minutes to do so. And look at everybody in the background. That's going to be Ian Erasmus and Sam Swallows. By the way, we haven't mentioned Sam Swallow. He had the same problem that Boomsma had. He was up in arms with an accident. Now he's back at it, you know. He's getting back to it. Not letting that soil his day. And I can safely say he is probably going to be in a good position. He's got relatively fresh tyres. They are only like 20 laps newer than the top 5 ahead of him, but he's still at least got newer tyres. It still put him in good stead if he can keep them that way. In the background, by the way, Jan Brony overtaking the car of Marco Strumberg. Bit of a three-way melee between himself, Strumberg, and Blankvist for 11th.
And you can start to see Boomsma is starting to look at making moves, but he's gone a little bit wide at the start of this, and he tried to make it almost touch the back there of the 95 of Shane Norton. He's now looking to make moves at the same time Norton's trying to make moves. So the top 4 are starting to get very dicey. Look at them right there. That is Brown at front, Norton in P2, Boomsma P3. Ebenegel is 4th, and you start to see here comes that almost NASA-like livery there of Shane Norton. He's not made this work though. Did not make it work. Boomsma made it work though. He's taken 1 position. He's going to take 2. And Brian Boomsma, out of nowhere, like I said, is going to take the lead with 22 laps to go, 23 laps to go, and they're still fighting out there.
Boomsma in the NRG car challenging now the HW car. Sean Brown trying to go on the inside, blocked off by Boomsma. Good defense procedures coming into the turn 1. It is where the moves are being made and then sort of confirmed coming into 2. Still trying though on the outside this time though. He's going to try and send it. Not a lot of space out there. It is kind of a bit of a no man's land in terms of trying to get positions. By the way, Silvernagel under difficulty, losing a position to Garrett Batten. 2 of them are actually the only cars now, apart from the ones that we've mentioned before. Oh, that is... Oh no! Poor Mike Gaunt, he's out.
Now what's happened there? They've touched each other there and both just gone flying.
That's Mike Gaunt's race done. We'll have a look at the replay here. See the unfortunate incident. Now it is going to be at the end of the straight, so bear with us. We can just see, and oh dearie me, yeah, that's a huge netcode issue. Even with the air there, that is a racing incident for both drivers going into each other. One was coming down, one was coming up. That even with that air there, that is a racing incident. Yeah, that's a huge netcode though. I've
seen worse.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, if we can inspect the car, Mike Gunn's already gotten out, so I think he has hung up the boots, so to speak. He can't go any further. And that is one exceptionally damaged car. Front is quite badly damaged, as is the front left. Rear spoiler is also in a bit of a state. So he's not coming back out. Only 18 laps left. Now, no green, white, checkered. It is in... actually, IndyCar does have green, white, checkered. Never mind. But
they don't. No, they don't.
They do
not?
No
green, white, checkered. No green, white, checkered. Nope. And you think it takes them, what, 4 laps to get around here? So if we get a caution on lap 196, that could be all she wrote. We get a caution on lap 95, get ready for a 1-lap shootout. So there is no green, white checker here. If it finishes on the yellow flag, it finishes on the yellow flag.
No, Michael, this is so not right.
No, that's so right.
I just want my green, white, checkered. Just to be contrarian.
But anyway, we're getting ready shortly. Is the lights off on the pace car? No. Boomsma leads Brown, leads Norton, leads Batten, then Siebenegel, Swallow. What a recovery by Sam Swallow. I know we kept talking about it, but that's a brilliant recovery. Now P6.
Doing very well.
with 17 laps to go. I don't want to be the guy leading here. I don't want to be Brian Boomsma.
No, on the contrary, I would want to be Brian Boomsma in this case. Because we've seen before that if you have a good launch at the start, you're basically at least a half a second away at the first turn. If Boomsma gets a good start, he's a half second away, and as long as Brown and Norton fight each other, he's basically in clear air, and he doesn't have to worry about anything. So he'll have a smoother ride. He'll be more consistent with his laps.
But at the same time,
let's put it this way, right? If you're sat in this position now, and I think the lights have just gone off. The lights are off, yeah. So I'll make this quick. But I mean, in this case, right? Boomsma wants a clean getaway. If he gets a clean getaway, he's half a second already. Brown and Norton will fight each other, and then Boomsma all he has to do is put in good laps, and he's already second ahead. I mean, it's happened multiple times in this race.
It's also happened multiple times that the guy in the lead has lost out because of the slipstream. And I think in this key moment here, all Brown's going to be looking for if he can hold on to that slipstream. He will be aware of Norton behind him. But his eyes will be on that NRG car of the championship leader, Brian Boomsma. He gives a bit of a gap. This is going to play mind games. Look at the gap between him and the pace car. When will he jump? Takes the high side of the track. When will he make this launch? They're backing up a little bit. He's going to go now. Now he goes. And the gap, 0.3. It's not getting further. It's 0.4. That gap is going to stay 0.4 as they head down into turn 1. Lap 185 of 200. Now the gap's half a second. Rob is right. Am I going to be right? Are we going to see a callback here with the slipstream? We're about to start lap 186. Remember, no green, white checkered.
Gap sitting just under half a second now. Brown is actually closing. Norton is losing it, so unfortunately one half of the issue comes simply down to well,
look at these times: 23:049, 22:910, almost over a tenth. And Brown is starting to catch. Lap 187, he's starting to catch this, Rob. And I think he's just waiting for his moment. But he's caught him in the space of 2 laps. If he took the lead, then he'd be losing it in the space of 2 laps. He's looking to go down the inside. He cannot find it. Boomsma, does hold that little line there. Now, what happens when they go around the second time? Nothing yet. Shane Norton is just letting these guys go for chaos, and then he's going to crawl in at the last moment. Is there going to be a move this time? Boomsman's going to defend in the middle of the track, and Brown's going to have to do it around the outside. There is no space for him to go around the outside here. Cut back, maybe. He's got this. There you go. Lap 189, Rob. It's an 11-lap battle now to see if he can hold on to this.
It is now the shootout of the century. Oh, on the inside goes Boomsma.
There was a tap there. There was a little bit of a touch there between the two of them. Not on purpose, of course. And they're almost going to be touching again. As around goes Brown, he's going to have to do this the hard way. He's got to go around the outside. They do touch again. And Brown gets pushed wide. And he's going to have to do it all over again. He's going to have to... And look at the rest of the field now bunching up. These guys are battling hard. Norton knows what's on the line here. I don't think the others are just looking for this. They want to try and get up there. But with 10 laps to go, Brown's got to do something here. Good defense from Boomsma. But Brown will have a run here. He'll have to do it around the outside if he's not too careful. He's trying to sell the dummy. He can't sell the dummy. He's got to go around the outside. He doesn't have an overlap. And just hold on. Another lap.
Keeping nice and tidy. 9 laps to go, by the way.
What can he do? Look at the defense from Boomsma. Brown's having to do this around the outside. I don't think he's enjoying this at the moment, but Boomsma's got the defense. And in fact, he's gone too far. He's gone too wide, and he's losing more time again. Boomsma's holding on to this so well once he got that lead back. Say what you want. but it's been some fantastic racing so far. Lap 193. I just don't know where it's going, Rob.
8 laps to go. Boomsman. And it's all gone wrong. No!
No! I don't want to call anybody out, but Brown went under the apron.
Here we go. Here's the replay. And bang. There you see it. Underneath the apron. And oh, yeah. Unfortunately, Mr. Brown. Unfortunately. He came up off the apron. And Boomsman is out of this race.
Oh,
yeah, that's a complete engine blown. Yeah, blown engine. He's gone. And now the shake-up of the century has just happened. Excuse me. I was about to say Sam Swallow, but I burped it instead. I'm so sorry, Sam.
It's Gary Batten, though. Gary Batten first, then Sam Swallow.
Yeah, but I mean, but look at Silbernagel. He's now back in. He's back in this race. Gary Batten has not gotten fast repair. Oh no! Now when I say he's not got fast repair, he's not had to use this fast repair.
But like, if he has to use the fast repair right now, his race is over. And by the way, we're gonna get a quick fire shootout here. This is the quick fire shootout we were worried about.
Yeah, and if a caution happens again, whoever makes it through, and that dictates the end of the race, really. And it is tense. It is tense because Silbernagel and Batten both are on 74 lap old tires. Sam Swallow is on 52 lap old tires. Erasmus can also prove to be decisive. He's got newer tires. Holmer also has new tires. Ish, when I say ish tires.
But what I'm going to say, Rob, Gary Batten is not going to be thinking just about the race right now.
He's going to
be thinking about the championship. No, he's going to be thinking about the championship, because this will put him top of the table. Like, he just needs a top 3, and I think he'll be leading the championship right now with all the issues that's been going on. So yes, he's going to be thinking about winning this race, but also at these early days, as we're about a 10th of the way through the season. Not a 10th of the way through the season. What am I talking about? At about with 14 rounds. We're at 14 rounds. This is a third of the way of the season, almost. Getting the lead back would be pivotal right now, so he's got to think about that as well. But wow, what an incident! What an incident!
Yeah, because it's put it into a unfortunately, Mr. Bryan, you did go on the apron, and unfortunately, you came back up on it, and you did clamber.
It was only 2 wheels.
Oh,
but
I mean, 75% of his car was on off.
Yeah. I know. But like, if we're going by the Eduardo Freitas rules, it was 2 wheels. Regardless, this is IndyCar. This is oval racing.
Well,
now, Rob,
it'll be a 3-lap shootout, by the way. I know. You're ready to take it away from me. No, I get this one. Because Gary Batten, Sam Swallow, Thomas Silbernagel, Ian Erasmus, Daniel Holmer, Alexander Olsen, Daniel Blomqvist, Marcus Stullenberg, Jan Brony, Alexander Wegert, Hakas Schutt, Justin Krutov. These are all guys. Well, actually, no, wait. Wegert don't. But the top 9 all have a chance. It'll be a 3-lap shootout. Gary Batten will be the favourite. He does have the lead. He'll only have to hold on for 3 laps. And if a caution happened now, as long as you make it through the caution, you are sorted. Gary Batten holds the formation. No, he goes immediately. No, he caught everybody slipping. Everybody was caught sleeping at the start there. He immediately guns it. Lap 197 has just started. And on we go. 3 laps to go. Gary Batten holding on Sam Swallow, but Sam Swallow is already on the charge, coming into 2. Into 3. Dives in quite a bit wider. Holds it nice and steady. Needs to hold it nice and steady. Looking on the inside. No, that's Silbernagel looking on the inside. Silbernagel needs to make 2 positions. Remember that. 2 positions with 2 laps to go. Coming through, 40 seconds remaining in this race. No matter what happens now, if a caution were to fly, this would be it. If the caution does not fly in this lap, it'll be white flag coming into the final lap, of 3 and 4. No more cautions, no green, white, checkered. Final lap is flying. Silbernagel's trying to look at the inside, but Sam Swallow blocks him off. Trying to look on the inside of Garen Batten. Garen Batten's trying to come through. Trying to make sure that the gap is as wide as it can. There's wrecking in the background, but they're not doing anything good. Coming through, the Silbernagel's losing the plot as Erasmus comes around the outside, but Garen Batten out of absolutely nowhere. 4 positions gained, starting from 5th on the grid. Seals the deal for NRG. And that is... that was poor Ian Erasmus there, overtaken with excitement, finishing in 4th. And unfortunately for Sam Swallow, he couldn't make it happen. But congrats to him and to Thomas Silbernagel. 2nd and 3rd for the boys. Well done.
What a finish. What a finish. We know it's going to be tough there, but the defense by all of them as well, and Swallow having the toughest job of them all, trying to fight for that battle and also defend what was behind him, managed to hold on to it. I do say this now because Gary Batten, the checkered flag is on the other side, but just do some donuts. You just won the race. You just took home the Jimmy Bryan 200 European Sportsman. Congratulations. Now, what's he going to do here? He's done a couple burnouts. He's going to do some more burnouts. Come on, let's do it. Let's see a Polish victory lap here, my friend. A few more burnouts going on there.
What's a Polish victory lap? When you go backwards?
You can go backwards, yeah. And now he's got the rest of the... having to avoid people. Now he's just going to do a little lap around. He's going to celebrate this. The NRG boys getting on top yet again from Bright Esports. Bright Esports getting held off. They're doing a 5. I see what's happening here. A little bit of sportsmanship, a little bit of banter between the teams. There's Bright doing a little 5 wide photo shoot. And there's Gary Batten. Garen Batten going, excuse me, I just won the race. I want to go, please.
Exactly. Now, results as they are. Garen Batten wins in the car number 3 for, today. That was such good English. Sam Swallow in 2nd place, only a 10th of a second behind. Silbernagel in 3rd, Erasmus 4th, Holmer 5th, Olsen 6th, Blunkfist in 7th, Strumberg in 8th, 9th is Jan Brony, and then 10th is going to be Weggert. Now, we come down... Oh, that's the wrong way. Hacker Schult in 11th was 2 laps down. Kutov 2 laps down in 12th. 13th, Kluge. He must have gained something back because he definitely wasn't 13th when we last checked in with him. Oh, and Sean Brown is saying he is 16th, but he's out of order. Booms went in 14th. 15th was Norton, correction. 17th was Tom Guest. 18th, Mike Gunn. 19th, Morel. Thomas in 20th. Then Shelley in 21st. Reader in 22nd. 23rd is Banfield. And 24th, Hagstrom. Of course, we knew what happened to the poor boys who had not the greatest of races, but we do have a time to chat with Garen Batten. Mr. Batten, congratulations, my boy. Well done, and welcome to the booth.
Must get heart rate down.
I can imagine.
Garen, I got one question, first of all. Did you expect that? What were your thoughts after seeing that wreck with like 8 to go?
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, well, first I couldn't believe I got through it because there was freaking cars everywhere. So you got on the stream now, do you? But yeah, anyway. Yeah, I was just like, couldn't believe it because, I just thought Brian and Sean were going to be too fast and go and fight it out themselves. And yeah, suddenly the seas parted and through I went. So yeah, can't believe it.
Getting your Moses moment there as well, but of course it did mean you had to have a 3-lap shootout. I don't know if you have done IndyCar before. I know you've done a little bit of oval before, so yeah, a 3-lap shootout in like an open wheeler on ovals, it can be tough. Were you afraid of losing that? Were you afraid of losing that at the end there with the 3-lap shootout, or were you pretty comfortable with your little start there? Because it looked like you caught everybody off guard with that restart. Even Rob wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, I decided to go earlier than most of them had, just to see if I could catch people out. But I spent that entire 3 laps repeating, "Please throw a yellow, please throw a yellow, please throw a yellow, please throw a yellow."
I can imagine as well as which. I mean, I had a theory that you were actually trying to see if you, in my head anyway, that you would be hoping for a yellow, simply because that would have sealed the deal for you there. I mean, I was surprised that Sam Swallow, after he had a big accident at the start, or not at the start, but during the race, and he was down all the way down the back of the field, and then he's through thick and thin, he just caught back up to you at the top. Did he? I'm assuming he applied the pressure out of the gate as soon as he caught back up to you.
Yeah, he did. There's also a little secret that even though he didn't have the same livery on, he's part of the affiliate team. So yeah, we were sort of in touch there, knew what was going on. So yeah, yes, he was a threat, but at the same time, we certainly didn't want to throw away first and second. So yeah, you might say that it was kind of under control, but yeah, it was still heart rate through the roof stuff. And the biggest problem that I had in this entire race was when I crossed the line, not waking up the entire family because it's 4 a.m. here.
It is. Yeah, actually, yeah, it is very early in Australia. I'm pretty sure they would at least understand it, but they would still probably smack you in the face if you did wake them up.
Rob.
Understand it. Yeah. Yeah, understand it.
Still hungover.
I'll let you tell my wife and kids.
I thought you Aussies would be hungover from winning the World Cup this yesterday or today.
Well, I didn't say I wasn't.
There was one thing, because I remember you had to fight your way back, because lap 64, I can't remember if you took a pit stop or you had to go in. You were all the way down in, I think you were like 15th or some point, or something like that. So you were really down the field at one stage. Were you panicking at that stage? Because I think you had to get your way back, and you fought your way back, and at one point you were only in the top 10, and then at the end you just slowly made your way up 8th, then 6th, and then on the way, and at the end. So were you worried once you fell so far down the order that early?
No, it was always part of the strategy. So one of the tricks with over racing, having done a bit of IndyCar stuff, is you want to be the first person to take your last stop. And so it was a case of I wanted to take 2 stops, but I wanted to make sure that my second stop wasn't a long one, or if people did 1 stop, it was going to be a longer stop. So no, it was a case of just take on some fuel early, go to the back of the lead lap, just cruise around, stay out of trouble. I mean, the strategy was to try and get myself, as far into the top 10 and, back into the top 5 if I could. Obviously, I've had a fair bit of luck along the way to end up where I did, but yeah, no, it was always part of the strategy and part of the plan. So yeah, I was cool with it.
I want to bring somebody in as well. Your affiliate member as well. Sam Swallow's now here with us. Hi, Sam. Well done on that P2, but I've got to talk about it, Sam. You had to literally fight your way back up, because at one stage you were a lap down and you were battling to unlap yourself. How did that go for you? Because if you didn't get that move, you probably won't be looking at P2 right now. Are you just as surprised as Garen that you found yourself in the top 2?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'd be silly not to say that it wasn't without teamwork. So I'd had a weird thing at the start. I went to go pit, and then I'd accidentally overtaken someone when entering, so I got thrown to the back of the grid with a slowdown. Overlap, I got a lap down as well, and then I clawed back up to 5th somehow, then back, and then I clawed all the way back through the traffic. With help from the team, I got in front of the traffic so I could overtake the pace car and get back on the lead lap, and then it was just a fight to the front. But yeah, it'd be silly to say it wasn't without teamwork. The team are awesome.
Well, teamwork does make the dream work. And I'm guessing as well that helped with the restart. I know Garen was talking about it. That really must have helped, because in some respect you were almost Valtteri Bottas there. You're almost a wingman and just holding on for your position. I know that can be an insult sometimes, calling somebody a wingman, but for the team, a 1-2 is better than trying to battle out for just one position. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. We had that Hamilton-Bottas discussion, and I basically said unless something went really wrong, I wouldn't be overtaking Garen, because he'd earned it. He was already ahead of me. He'd been consistent the whole race. I was more than happy just to be in second. Nice guys, and yeah, really thanks to the team, really. Yeah,
and multi 3062 doesn't sound quite as good.
No,
Multi 3062, mate. Rob, I don't know if you've got anything to add, Rob.
No. Just apart from just asking the lads, what's your plans for the next time out? Now, I think Craig,
Wild card.
Yeah, it's a wild card, so you're kind of stuck, aren't you? I mean, my other question would be for, I think Craig, you did the math. I think it's was it Batten? Was it that's now leading the championship?
I think, Aaron, you might have the championship lead. Not too sure. You were minus 19, and I think you may have got that. I mean, it's still NRG leading the championship, so I'm guessing that's good for the team. But you've got to feel for Brian for losing out losing out on points there and possibly losing the lead of the championship. Surely.
Gutted, but he's good enough that he'll get it back. That's no question whatsoever. So I'm looking at my timing screen. It looks like he still finished 15th. So I'll be ahead, but it's not a complete disaster. It's not a non-classified for him. So Brian will be back. Don't you worry about that.
I'm hoping so as well. So for both of you guys, it is Porsche Cup. It's wildcard. Europeans, we will be doing, I believe I've seen Europeans because it is a British track. It's Donington Park National, the best layout. Not biased whatsoever. Are you guys looking forward to some Donington? Are you guys looking forward to that?
Yeah, totally. GT3 is more my thing anyway. Oval is something I've been trying to work on. Majors. The nice way about Majors calendar is that it gets you to try different things you don't try normally. So I've really enjoyed that, and so I'm looking forward to GT and Road. It's more my thing. So and it's my home track, Donington. So it'll be nice to actually go there in real life. In the sim as having been in there in real life. So
yeah, right. I think the last thing we've got to ask you guys before we let you go, or for Garen, let him get a bit more sleep before he starts work day. You got any shout out for the two of you for the just in general, any shout outs?
The usual shout out to Ian for the paint scheme, which was a combination of some indigenous artwork and also the local Arizona rattlesnake, not rattlesnake, whatever it was. And just in case you saw, Ian actually finished 4th in this race as well. So he's had a good paint and a good race too. And you may have seen one or two additions to the livery that some of our guys did, in case they ended up upside down, and I believe one or two of them may have. So.
Yes, I can safely say. Yeah. I can safely say one of them did show up on the stream. You're gonna laugh at that one.
Apparently, the NRG boys do have that. We will be looking for that clip straight away. Thank you, Sam. Any shout outs from you?
The whole team. They took me on board at the start of the year and have really looked after me. And places I'm really not sure on, which is a lot of oval so far this season. They've really got me through it. Otherwise, I'd have been really stuck. So the whole team, really, Brian, Garen especially, the chap that comes in and helps us, gives us advice on specific cars and oval. He's amazing. Ian, obviously. Yeah. Tom helped me. Tom helped me so much in that race. So I don't think I'd have made it back onto the lead lap without him. So definite thanks to Tom.
Yeah, definite fact to both of you guys. Sam, Garen, congratulations on your P2 and P1 respectively. We look forward to seeing you at Donington in a month's time. But until then, have a good rest of sleep, Garen, and your work day. And Sam, have a good Sunday evening.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Cheers.
Well, Craig, I think that's time we get Boomsman.
Let's get Brian in, because Brian, that's got to feel. You've got to feel that must be a heartache to have that happen. Talk us through it.
Yeah. Well, it was already hard to get back to the front because I needed to use my fast repair already on lap 49 when I got caught in a massive crash. And I made my way back up, made good fuel and tire strats, and yeah, then I had a fight with Sean that didn't end well.
Were you surprised at getting back up so quick? Because at one stage I was thinking you were just going to consolidate your lead, get a top 5, maybe a top 10, and then out of nowhere we just found you in P3 and you made a great run to take the lead. So were you surprised at getting back to the lead? So I wouldn't say so late, but just getting back to the lead and then keeping it, because you did have some fantastic defense at the end there, and it was just a shame what happened.
Yeah, so I've calculated my strategy at the start of the race, before the race, of course. And when I crashed, it was about on the strategy I wanted to do anyway. So it didn't cost me that much time, and I knew my strategy would put me back in at the grid in the first half of the race. And after that, when I would have enough fuel and the tires were good, I would get my way back up, because I probably knew people would still have to pit. So I was on I was in P13, and then like 6-7 of the guys ahead of me pitted. So I went immediately up to 7, and then I just worked my way back up, and I think I had way fresher tires and less fuel than the others had in front of me. So my tactic really worked out.
Just a shame. Just a shame what happened at the end. Of course, we go now. Yeah. We think you've lost the championship lead. It's not a DNF, so there is point. That's fine. Now, Garen was saying you will bounce back from this and you'll be back up there. We're at Donington next month. It's the Porsche Cup cars. What are we going to expect from you?
I have no idea, man. The last day I drove them were in December, so I haven't driven them for a long time. So I need to get my practice in, but I'm definitely, as Garen is saying, I'm gonna bounce back and try to be back in top spot again. Yeah.
I don't know if you've got anything to add, Rob.
I don't, apart from, you'll be bouncing back. We'll be sure of it, because you definitely did. You said to us last season that you'd be on the charge, so I'm holding you to it.
Yeah, and great job to the other guys, Garen for the win, Sam for P2, and Ian on P4 even. So we were close to another 1, 2, 3, so really proud of them.
Yeah, like I said, commiserations to you, Brian, but it's still a great result for NRG. I can say commiserations, it's a shame there, but still P15. We look forward to seeing you next month at Donington, but until then, have a good evening, and like I said, we can't wait to see you bounce back from that.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
All the best, Brian.
Now, Craig, it is about that time. Unfortunately, I'd like to get your thoughts on what will happen at Donington, though.
Well, it's the best layout, the national layout. We know how chaotic Donington can be in terms of gaps and in terms of people just trying to squeeze forward, try and make some spaces that they need to. It's going to be a tough race in that respect. We're going to see people just struggling, because we're talking the cup car here. It does have a little bit of ABS, but it doesn't have any TC. So some guys are going to be struggling here. Look for the chicane at the end of the track as well. That's going to be some overtaking spots right down to the rundown. That straight is also going to help as well. I'm not sure what the format is. It could be 2 races. I'm not sure what the format's going to be, but it does have a recipe for success, because GT3 or Cup cars at Donington, it's just a fantastic recipe. It's a combination. I love racing, and I think we're going to see some really good racing. It might be a little bit chaotic. That's the nature of close racing at Donington. I'm looking forward to it personally.
As am I, but it'll take us some time to get there. But until we get to Donington next month, from us here at Raidillon TV, we'd like to take the moment to thank you all for watching with us and for tuning in with us as we went through the 200 laps here at Phoenix Raceway with the Lotus 79. So if you like what you see, consider hitting the subscribe and like button so you don't miss a thing. Again, next month will be the race at Donington, so be sure to tune in for us for the European Sportsman series. We head up the European Sportsman top split, and we love the boys going around and doing their absolute best to try not to come out the wall. But until next time, I have been Robert O'Brien.
And I have been Craig King.
And this is Raidillon TV, the only corner you need. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.